Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be an everyday makeup tutorial, like a talk through tutorial. This video is actually requested by another new subscriber. So thank you so much for requesting this video. You guys have no idea how flattering it is to me when people suggest or request a video. It's just so cool to me that you even clicked on my video and asked me to make a video for you. So I said I was going to film this video for you. Sonia, I believe her name is. It's Soniya, and it's in her username twice, so it's Sonia. So thank you so much for requesting this video. Your comments were so sweet. So I'm going to film that for you guys. I actually haven't filmed a everyday makeup tutorial in quite a while, so thought it was perfect to do another one. I just grabbed some water and I am getting ready for the day. It's like 1:45 right now, but I was off today. Sometimes on like a Friday or a Sunday, if I'm off, I really like just taking my time in the morning, you know, having my breakfast, having my coffee, washing my face, all that stuff, just petting my dogs, having a lazy morning because I really don't get to do that enough with school and stuff, so it's kind of hard to relax like that. So I'm going to dive into the palette that I'm using today. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. I actually haven't dived into this palette in quite a while, so I wanted to whip it out and use it today. It's just always like in the front of my makeup collection, just like wanting to be used. So I'm going to use this, and then I'm also going to use a single shadow on my lid today. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow on my lid in the shade Amber Rush. I haven't used this in a while either, so I wanted to take that out and use it. So we're going to dive into the palette. This is a really great everyday makeup palette. Honestly, my eyeshadow changes every single day. I really don't like using the same eyeshadow just because I have so many palettes and so much eyeshadow, but I absolutely love eyeshadow. So, but this is the palette I'm going to be using today. But honestly, my palette changes all the time. I never use the same one. So I'm just going to use my Luxe Beauty brush and I'm going to dive into my color switch and just clean that off. And then we're going to use the palette. So I basically have any neutral shade that I need in this palette. I don't really have to grab other transition shades or anything like that. So that's great. Like literally this palette is so good for every day. So I'm going to be using Nudie and Commando as my transition shades. So I'm just going to dive into both of those and tap off the excess. I'm again going to keep a tissue on my lap so I don't get like too much fallout everywhere. I think I'm going to just use this mirror in here. This is a pretty good mirror to do your makeup, like really, really nice. So I'm just going to use those two shades. I'm just going to dip in one more time and I'm just going to throw those in my crease. I'm not going to do anything too crazy today, obviously, like I said, because I'm doing an everyday makeup look. So I'm just going to put that in my crease. I also did already prime my eyes. I did, just to save some time, I just used my Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer. And then I just set my eyes with the Wet n Wild pressed powder in Warm Light. Those are basically my two go-tos for everyday looks. The Wet n Wild pressed powder is so good for every day. So I'm just going to do that. My eyebrows are looking like a hot mess right now. I'm sorry about that. I'm just not concerned with really tweezing them right now. I'm so lazy with them sometimes. But I already washed my face and everything, so I'm just going to throw those on the other side as well. Just to put my transition shade on this side too. Honestly, this mirror is so nice. I'm just going to use this for the entire look, basically, because it's a really nice mirror. So I'm just going to put that in my crease as well, just as my transition shades. But I'm actually getting ready earlier than I planned to. I haven't heard from my boyfriend yet. I'm supposed to see him later. I'm supposed to go over his house. It is a gorgeous day today. It's like 70 degrees. It's insane how warm it is. But my mom actually wants to take me to look at cars today because my lease is up in September and obviously I'm going to need another car because I commute to school for my major and everything. So I told her I have like time to go today. Sorry, I'm like a crazy woman about my crease sometimes. I have to make sure that I have enough on my crease. I think I just need just a little bit more right here. Um, but my lease is up in September, so I'm like super excited to look at another car because I'm kind of over the car that I have. But I do need to get a new car. And she said the best time to look is basically around this time. So I'm super excited to do that. So I was like, hey, yeah, I do have time to do it today. It's only 150 right now. So for the crease, I'm just going to take this shade Tempted right here. It's a much cooler tone brown, and I'm just going to put that in my crease just to add some more color to it. I basically mix these three colors all the time in my crease if I use this palette. It's just such a good everyday palette, you guys. If you need something that has like variety, or you need like every crease, I really feel like this palette is so underrated. It is really good. The mattes are so nice in here. It really is a great everyday palette. I just can't rave about it enough. It's really nice. So I'm just going to put that in my crease too, just to darken up the crease as my crease shade. How many times can I say crease? That's pretty good, actually. That looks really good already. I could have used the pinkier tones today, but I wasn't really feeling a pink look today. I just wanted to do something super simple. So yeah, that's pretty much good for the crease. Since those two shades I already used are pretty buildable and pretty pigmented, they're pretty good to use. I just want to take another sip of water. I try to have at least 1 glass of water before I go anywhere. Helps your skin, helps you not be as dehydrated. So that's in my everyday makeup routine as well. I always try to have water while I'm getting ready, so at least I can stay hydrated. Also because my throat gets pretty dried out when I'm talking to you guys. So so now I'm going to be using my Real Techniques brush. I'm just cleaning it off in my color switch as well. My brushes aren't too dirty right now. So then for the crease, I'm just going to go in with this Faith shade right here. This guy right here. And I'm going to put that in my crease. Again, they're so pigmented, so they do have a lot of kick up, but they don't have any fallout. So I'm just going to, oh crap, I don't want to cover the mic. And then I just want to go through my crease with that shade. And this is also a really nice nude shade. Neutral shade, I mean, not a nude shade. What am I talking about? So I'm trying to put my list together, and I'm just going to run that through my crease. Sorry, I'm like so ADD today. I just want to talk to you guys about so much stuff. I feel like not like too much has happened lately. I've just mostly been working and going to school. But I just want to run this through my crease to give it more depth and dimension. I always do this every day. Duh. I mean, like most people do. So I'm just going to keep on taking that shade and just defining the crease more. So I'm trying to put together my list for the Sephora VIB sale. Since the VIBs can shop, I believe, next weekend, or it might be this weekend. I have to make sure of the dates. But if you guys know, Ulta, if you're a Prestige member, not a Prestige member, a Platinum member, they send out your 20% off coupon around the same time. Like, Ulta's gotten pretty smart and has sent out their coupons around the same time as Sephora now during their sale. They started doing that last year, and I noticed that. And I was like, oh, why would I shop at Sephora if I can get 20% off at Ulta and buy my stuff there? So I'm going to buy most of my stuff that I want from Sephora at Ulta this year. I have been debating doing that for a while. The only time I'm going to shop at Sephora is if, one, the deals are better, because they do have some pretty sweet deals every week now, since they do have to compete with Ulta, and Ulta has more sales. Excuse me. Alright, I think that's actually pretty good for the crease. I like how that looks. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of this Lockout shade on the outer corners. I kind of want to use that one, just to give the outer corners a little bit more depth. Sorry, my throat's so dry. And I'm just going to put that on the outer corners right here. Typically, sometimes I don't even do this step if I'm wearing something really, really simple. But since I'm like doing stuff before I see my boyfriend, I want to just wear a little bit more today. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Just right here. I'm kind of being pretty sloppy with my crease today just because I'm just throwing it on basically. I'm going to try and be a little bit more precise today for anyone that is following along with this tutorial or watches this video because I really don't have too many viewers. So I'm just going to do that. I'm kind of getting hungry. I wasn't really that hungry this morning, and then I had waffles, and now I'm feeling a little bit hungry again, so I might grab a fruit or something after I finish my eyeshadow. I'm like, finished? But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna look at cars today. I kind of want something smaller, because I've been driving my Ford Focus since 2015. I've had a Ford Focus. I think this is my third Focus, actually. I think. And I have a black one. I love black cars. I kind of want a blue color, though, or like a green, like a dark green. I think that'd be so pretty. I don't really want a black car again, because black is getting kind of boring. I want, like, a color this time. So, I don't want red. I don't want white. I don't want, like, a silver car. I want, like, a blue or a green. So I'm hoping to get a blue, like a dark navy would be really pretty. So I definitely am super interested in getting a colored car this time. Hopefully I will. But 99% of the time it's always like a boring, dull color. Because that's typically what they have on the lot usually. Alright, and then for my lid shade, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Amber Rush, the number 892. I'm not like too crazy about this eyeshadow, to be honest. I feel like every time I wear it, it's very transfer prone. So I typically would never do this for everyday makeup looks, but I'm going to go in with a little bit of the NYX Glitter Primer. I want to see if it helps this shade not transfer as much. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and put that on my lid. Just because this shade is, like I said, more prone to creasing over my ColourPop eyeshadows. So I want to see if this is going to help me. So I'm just going to do that and then I'll come back and do the eyeshadow. Alright, so I pretty much have that on. I just wanted a nice tacky base for this eyeshadow to stick to because like I said, I'm just going to dip into the eyeshadow now and I'm going to put it on with my finger. It's very similar to like my ColourPop eyeshadow formula, or not my, but oh wow, that made that really intense and pretty. Look how pretty that looks. Wow, I really like that. This was like the perfect eyeshadow to use today. Because I've been using my ColourPop eyeshadows a lot lately. So I wanted to use something different today. So I want to put that all over the lid. It's so pretty. But it's very similar to the ColourPop formula. And these are actually more expensive, these L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows, which I think is crazy. I'm going to go clean up the under eye in a minute after I do my brow bone highlight, because I'm pretty much done with the eyes after this. Let me just check my phone to see if he texted me or not. Not yet. Jesus. It's already 2 o'clock and he hasn't texted me today. So, yeah. He'll probably text me around like 3:34. I just want to make sure it's on the actual inner part of my lid. So just like that. Sometimes I have trouble blending these like creamier eyeshadows on my outer part of my eye. Sometimes it's hard to blend it with the actual outer corners. This is going on really beautifully with the glitter primer. I think I'm just going to do that from now on. Oh, that's so pretty. So just like that. And also if you guys wanted to see like a more basic tutorial, like really for beginners and stuff, because today I'm just doing my makeup and talking to you guys. Go to my makeup for beginners video. I did that in like 3 parts for Erin. She's one of my OG subscribers. She's awesome. Erin House. And she asked me to do that video like a year ago. And I break down like brushes, everyday makeup, stuff like that. And I did it in 3 parts. So if you guys want to check that out, you can if this video is like not enough for you. I'm not saying that to be mean at all. I'm just saying, like, if you want, like, more everyday looks or more, if you're, like, just starting out with makeup, check out that video. I think that I'm pretty informative in that video, so, yeah. So I'm just going to take it on this part as well. I feel like it's not sticking. You know what? I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to leave it like that. It's just bugging me. It's not really on the inner part of my eye. My foot is falling asleep a little bit. Alright, I think that is better. Alright, I think that's pretty good for the lid shade. Oh, that's such a pretty shade. I love it. So I think that was perfect to use today. So I'm just going to close this. My hands are a little bit shaky. I feel like I need to eat a little something. So I'm just going to grab some fruit or something. So before I'm done with my eyes for now, I'm just going to sweep on a brow bone highlight. So I'm just going to mix together the shade Blow and Pregame, and I'm going to put those two on my brow bone. I feel like those are such, like, sexual names. But I feel like those are, like, the most, like, sexual names in the palette. Like, Blow and Pregame. Like, Blow? Urban Decay. Like, why? It's so sexual. And Pregame, it can mean, like, pregame for going out or pregame for, like, something else. Like, doing the dirty, you know? So I'm just going to sweep that across my brow bone. And then we're pretty much done with the eyes for now. I just didn't realize how hungry I was going to get. So I am going to just grab, like, a little snack. I'm just going to clean up the crease a little bit by sweeping my brush with no product on the actual crease. And then I think the eyes are good for now. I'm obsessed with this lid shade. It's just so pretty. So I'm just going to clean up the under eyes really quick and grab, like, a little snack, and then we will jump into the face. Alright, so I just wanted to go clean up my under eyes and just have a little snack. So now we're back and we're going to prime the face. So for the face primer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus face primer. I know that I use this stuff in my Wet n Wild tutorial, but this is basically the primer I use every day besides my Smashbox. If I don't need something too crazy, like my Stila primer or something like that, but I think this one is pretty much empty. I don't think there's anything in this one. I did buy a brand new one. Oh, okay, so I kind of squeezed out more. Alright, so we're just gonna put that on my face to prime my face. Just like that. And make sure you don't rub your face when you put on your primer. You just want to do very simple motions with your fingertips. Some people use the palms of their hands, but as long as you just are very smooth with your primer, you should be fine. Okay. Excuse me. So now we just prime the face. So I can move this stuff over here. And now we're going to go in with the foundation. Now, for me, for my everyday foundation, it's always between one of these two foundations. I love both of these foundations so much. And I'm so torn as to which one I want to use today. I'm probably going to use this one over this one. So they're both drugstore foundations. So the first one is the No. 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation in the color Cool Vanilla. As you can tell, you can see how much I actually love this foundation. I'm working on using this one up. I'm probably not going to have any trouble using it up within the next month or two. So I might use this one today just for that sole purpose of using it up. Or the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. And this one's in the shade LC1. I absolutely adore this foundation ever since I got it. They both have a very similar finish to them. They just both look super healthy. Love these foundations so much. They're very dewy on the skin, very lightweight. This one's a little bit creamier. This one's a little bit thicker, but they both have like a beautiful finish on the skin. I'm kind of leaning towards using this one today, so I think I am going to use this one today. But if I'm going for anything that I want my skin to look beautiful and healthy, I go for this one. The only reason why I kind of want to go for this one instead of this one is that I find that my skin gets a little bit dewier when I use this one. After like a few hours of wear, this one stays a little bit more matte, and I think I'm going to be wearing my foundation for a little while today till like 9 or 10 o'clock at night by the time I get back from my boyfriend's house. So I'm going to be using this foundation today. So I'm just going to take the applicator and I'm just going to put this on my face. It's a little bit weird, the applicator, but I find that it works pretty damn well. And I want to get a pretty decent amount on my face. So this never looks heavy, no matter like how much you actually put on. So I'm going to try and put a pretty decent amount on. This is probably all I'm going to need. Since it's a, regular applicator like this, you can't really go overboard with it because it's such a lightweight foundation. So that's what I'm going to do on my face right now. I think that's enough. I'm going to take my Real Techniques sponge and I'm going to blend that out. I just want to move this eyeshadow brush. I might just keep this right here. It's kind of easier just now. Nah, I need it. I'm so blind, like I can never see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take that and put it all over my face. See how like easy it is to blend out and how like light it is on your skin? That's why I love it so much. I feel like there's more water on this side of my beauty blender. I did already wet this blender. I mean, wet my Real Techniques sponge. So I'm just going to continue to press that into my skin. I might need a little bit more because it looks like it's not giving me as much coverage as I want. Because this is a super lightweight foundation, so. And then I'm just going to bring it down my neck. This foundation is a little bit tanner than the number 7 is. So the number 7 kind of matches me a little bit better. As you can tell, it's a little bit yellow on camera. But I still love the finish of it. But I can deal with that, so. But I just love this foundation. It's so lightweight, so easy to use. So I'm just going to finish blending that out. On my nose. And then we're just going to put that on the forehead too. I feel like I need a little bit more. I still feel like this is so dried out right now. It's annoying, but I'm just going to put on a little bit more on my cheeks just to get a little bit more. And plus I feel like I didn't cover this enough. So I'm just going to do this like that. And I think that should be enough for the rest of my face. I am so hungry. It's annoying. All right, and then I'm just going to pounce it into my skin again. Why do I feel like I did not wash this again last night? I feel like I've been forgetting to wash my makeup sponge. But I could have sworn I did last night, so. And I feel like that's definitely more of the coverage that I wanted. And it's just so freaking beautiful on the skin. I love this foundation so much. And I think that's all I'm going to need. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I just went ahead and added just a little bit to my forehead because I felt like I needed a little bit more coverage there. So now I think my coverage is at where I want it. See how healthy and beautiful it makes your skin look. It's not overkill. It's just a really beautiful foundation. Excuse me. Why am I burping? Okay. Now let's move on to concealer, and I'm going to be using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade Fair. I just love this for everyday looks, and it's just such an easy, creamy concealer to use. So I'm just going to put that on all the places I usually conceal. The only thing that I don't like about this concealer is that I feel like it looks very dark on my skin. if I use it without foundation, but I just love the formula so much that I don't really care too much. And you see how easy it is to put underneath your eyes. It's just like a one swipe kind of thing, and that's basically like what they made it for. So I'm just going to blend it out here. But it's such a creamy formula. It's like my all-time favorite drugstore concealer, so I'm just going to use that. I'm mostly using drugstore products on my face today, except for my blush. But everything else is pretty inexpensive. The only, like, the most expensive thing I used in this video was the Urban Decay palette. But they have this on sale a lot, so for like 20 bucks, so it's not even that bad of a deal. So I'm just going to conceal with that. It's just such a creamy formula. I love this concealer so much. I could have used the Wet n Wild one because I have a new one that I haven't opened yet, but just wanted to use this one. This is like my second one that I'm almost done with, as you guys can see how much I've actually used of it. And I really love this concealer because it doesn't like dry down too fast at all, so it gives you like plenty of time to blend it out. You can like take your time with it, and it won't be like dry by the time like you do your under eyes, and that's why I really like this concealer. Just gonna take it on my nose area. What I've noticed since I've been getting older, I know people think I'm a lot younger than I am, but I'm actually approaching 30 years old. I know that's crazy, but yeah. And I noticed that I get a lot of fine lines on my forehead now. So for me, usually 100% of the time, I prevent them by just setting my forehead. Alright, I definitely need some more concealer underneath the eyes. I feel like it kind of dried a little bit. So we're just going to put a little bit more. It's not like it's a lot because I already blended it out, but I feel like I need more to make it more creamy. So I'm just going to do that. I like blending out my concealer and foundation pretty quickly, especially when I'm on camera, so you guys aren't watching like the same thing like for too long. And then I'm just going to do that here. And then we will set the under eyes in a sec. Yeah, but I've just been finding there's been a lot more emphasis on my wrinkles here lately. Like my fine lines really have been showing through. So I just set my forehead with a powder, and then it's usually completely fine. So now I'm going to set my under eyes. I do this every day of my life. I have to because my eyes are very prone to creasing. So I'm just going to take my e.l.f. Smooth and Set powder with my Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to set my under eyes. I usually take it around this whole area here, just so I know that like nothing will move. Sometimes like I can notice too that I get creasing around like this part. I don't know if anybody else struggles with that, but I can find that either my foundation or concealer like settles into there and it can crease. So I try and set that area of my face as well. So I'm just gonna take a little bit more. I feel like I didn't have enough. And we're just going to set that, and I think we should be good now. And now we're going to do the lower lash line. So anyway, back to what I was saying about the VIB sale. So I've been making my wish list, and I think I pretty much know what I'm going to get. So if you guys have any recommendations, please let me know. But I think I'm going to make a VIB sale recommendations video very soon because it's coming up like next week. And I actually get a lot of views on those videos when I make them. So now you know what? I'm just going to set my face now anyway. So I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild pressed powder in the shade Warm Light because I can do the lower lash line after this. This is like probably the only things that actually change in my makeup routine. But I'm going to set my forehead. And I find when I do that, it really doesn't settle anymore. So I just typically like to set my forehead first because that's like the one place I can find that it is most prone to creasing or like settling in. And now this powder is just so good for everyday makeup that I use this like all the time to set my face if I'm doing like a very light look. And it also makes it more matte and just looks more smooth. It's a really great powder for dry skin. So, plus it's a baked formula, and basically this is a straight up dupe for the MAC Merlot Skin Finish Natural, which I also love as well. Kind of feel a little bit itchy because I feel like I got some hair there. Alright, so now we're good with the face. Now let's just do the lower lash line. So I'm going to be using the MAC Technical Liner in the shade Risk or Risque. I feel like I keep on saying Risk. I think it's called Risque, but anyway, actually, let me smudge just a little bit of something on the lower lash line. I always do this. So I'm just going to take my little MAC brush, and I'm going to just smudge a little bit of Faith on the lower lash line, just a tiny bit, nothing too crazy, because I don't want it to be too pigmented. And I'm just gonna, oh my god, this brush is driving me nuts, but this is literally the last shade I have to use in here. And I'm just gonna smudge that very lightly. I'm not gonna take too much because I really don't want it to be too crazy at all. I just want a little bit of dimension underneath my eyes. It really is crazy how much it like helps transform your eye look. I used to never do this because I was like, I thought it was like not necessary, and then when I do it now, it just makes your look so pretty. Just gonna finish up the other side. Alright, and then just for the inner corners, I'm just gonna pop on a single eyeshadow from ColourPop. I think I'm just gonna use Let Me Explain. That's been like my go-to shade for my inner corners lately, so I'm just gonna use that guy. It's this really beautiful, like, shimmery gold. And you guys know I can't resist using gold in, like, every single look of my life. I love gold everything. So I'm just going to, oh my god, that is so freaking pigmented. Holy crap. Do you see that? Oh my god, I was not expecting it to be that pigmented. Oh my god. Wow, so freaking pretty. Like, you barely need any of the product. Like, look how glowy and beautiful that shade is. This is why I love ColourPop eyeshadows. I definitely need some more because I need to match the other side. So. Alright, I think that's good. Holy crap. I'm gonna tone it down just a little bit with my Real Techniques sponge. Oh. It is like so insanely glowy on this side. Wow. Wow. Alright, I'm just going to put a little bit, if you guys have seen that, that's like what Owen Wilson says all the time, so I literally say it to my friends like all the time. Wow. So I'm going to go like that, and that should be good for that. I'll clean it up if I need to. Oh my god, that shade, like, insanely pigmented. And then for the waterline, like I said, I'm going to go in with that crease shade, with that eyeliner in the shade Risque. This has been my absolute favorite nude liner lately. And if I'm, like, feeling like putting on a eyeshadow on the lower lash line, I will, but most days I kind of don't. I usually just take this and put it on my waterline, and I don't put anything on my lower lash line. So I'm just going to take this and line my waterline, but this one is just like so pigmented. And see the difference between this eye and this eye, how this eye just looks more open now. It's insane like how much of a difference a nude liner makes in your look. Do you see how like it looks more lifted, more awake? So that's why I love doing this step. And if you're like not a normal eyeliner wearer, this is a perfect step for you because this is really all you need for every day. But but it's not essential if you don't like putting anything on your waterline. It kind of it takes some getting used to, but I find it an essential step for me. I really love doing it. So, and then for the last step for the eyes, we're just going to give my eyes a coat of mascara. So I'm just going to take the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara, and I'm going to coat my lashes with that guy. This is just my typical everyday mascara. This is the one I grab. It's just so easy to use. See how much length it gives actually you can't really see, but it actually is giving me a lot of length in person. So I'm just going to finish that up. Okay, now we're going to move on to bronzer to finish up the face. Typically, sometimes I won't even do bronzer. It's not like an absolute essential for me, but if I'm going to do an everyday bronzer, I'm just going to use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So I'm just going to use that guy. This is in the shade Light Bronzer. I always forget to say the shade of this every time I use it. This is like the never-ending bronzer, you guys. This is a more pricey bronzer from the drugstore, but I'm telling you, this lasts so long. It's so worth the price because you get so much product in here. I think I've had this like a year, maybe, and I still haven't even hit pan on it, and I use it a lot, like at least 3 times a week. So I'm going to take my Too Faced Bronze Bookie brush, and I'm going to just coat that with the bronzer, and then I'm just going to bronze up my skin. Just going to do that, and then I'm going to take it on this side. And with this bronzer, you really can't go overboard with it because it's such a light bronzer that it's really easy to use. And it's very buildable. I'm basically almost done. I just have blush and highlight and lips to do, and that's about it. And also I love using this bronzer because it just smells amazing. It just smells like a pina colada. And I feel like every time I smell it, I want to go on like a tropical vacation, which I would love to even afford. And now I'm just going to take it on my forehead. Again, just a very light amount. You really cannot go overboard with this. You could dip it as many times as you want, and it's really not ever going to look orange or too pigmented or muddy. It's just such a light product. Like, I really didn't think I liked it too much, but I don't even really, like, use bronzer or was, like, a huge bronzer person. I, like, really don't think it's necessary. I just don't really use it in my everyday routine, but this one is just so pretty. Alright, I think we're good. I feel like I can barely see it, but it looks like we're bronzed on camera. So, good with that. And now we're going to go into blush. So usually on an everyday basis, I either use this blush or I use NARS's Madly, but I used NARS's Madly like 2 days ago, so I'm going to use this one today. This is MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish Mineralized Blush in the shade Warm Soul. This is like an absolute go-to blush for me and an everyday blush. So I'm just going to take that and pop it on my cheeks. And this is such a popular blush because it really gives like such a glowy look to your cheeks. But it's such a pretty blush. Alright, let me see how my face looks real quick. Alright, so we did the blush. As you can see, just gave it a nice natural glow to the cheeks. And now we're going to be doing the highlight, of course. For me, in my everyday makeup routine, I have to wear a highlighter. Highlighter is just an essential in my everyday life. I can't go a day without wearing a highlighter. I just love highlighters so much. So I'm going to use a more natural highlighter, and then I think I'm going to kick it up and use something a little bit more intense, but still not too intense. Something that just has like a straight up sheen. So if this highlighter isn't enough for me, I'm going to use the other one. So this is the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the shade Moonlight Pearls. I've been trying to get into this highlighter more, and I'm not sure if I like really love it because I don't think it's really that good, but I'm going to try and dig my brush into here to get something off of it. So I'm going to use that with my Anastasia A23 brush, and we're going to pop that on the cheekbones. I think I need more. I don't think I have enough. Alright, and now we're going to put that on the cheekbones. Oh, wow, that actually is really pretty. Wow. Okay. I see you, e.l.f. That's like a really pretty, like, light, subtle sheen. I like it. I like that. Alright, we're definitely going to take more and see if I can build that up. I saw in Andrea, oh my god, that's really pretty. I saw in Andrea Matiliano's video recently, she said like once you scrape the top layer off, these are really gorgeous. And wow, that is really nice. Do you see how pretty that is? It's just like a reflection. Wow. And now we're going to do that on the other side. Whew, I like that a lot. But you guys know oh god, I always have to kick it up more. I got like my brush on my shoulder. I thought it kind of like brushed away all of it, but Jesus Christ, my hair drives me nuts. Can't see this side at all. That is actually really pretty. It's giving like this really gorgeous sheen. Kind of into it. Wow. Let me see if I can see this a little bit better with this mirror. Yeah, that's definitely better. Wow, that is gorgeous. I'm actually really into that. I feel like I need more on this side. And then I'm just going to take some on my nose and stuff like that. Just right here. And right here. It gives a really gorgeous, subtle glow. You guys know I'm really not like a subtle person. I need like glow in my life, but this is really gorgeous. Whew, look at that nose. That's really pretty. Like super impressed. I have to look at this in the mirror first before I decide if I want something else. Alright, I am going to wet this a little bit because I just need a little bit more intensity. But it is really pretty. I think I might just wear it by itself because I don't want something like too crazy today. So I am going, ooh. Ooh. That's so pretty. Oh my god. And then I'm going to do that on the other side as well. That's really pretty. Wow, e.l.f. That is really gorgeous, actually. I'm going to put that on the other side, too. I'm really impressed by this highlighter. It is really pretty. put on a little bit too much on this side, as you can tell, but it's like a straight up beautiful sheen. Like, I think I might be wearing this more often now. All right. I'm going to pop on a little bit of this, a little bit of ColourPop's here Kitty Kitty Pressed Powder Highlight, just to kick it up just a little bit more, because I'm a crazy person when it comes to highlighter. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. That is so pretty. That's all I need from that. We're going a little bit overboard on the nose, so let's just kind of do a little bit of that, and then we should be good with that. But that's really gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of it. All right, I'm just gonna put on a little bit more blush up here because I feel like I put on a little bit too much highlight. So just like right there, and that should balance it out a little bit more. I always go so overboard with highlight, so that is really beautiful. Look at that. Look how reflective that is. I really am digging it. So, this one also is a beautiful highlighter. I did talk about this in my ColourPop picks video. If you guys want to check that out, that was like the last video I uploaded before my lip and lipstick review and check-in. So that's a really good video to check out if you guys were interested in any like ColourPop products or my favorites. So now I'm going to finish it off by just taking my Hourglass Ethereal Powder and just brushing that on my skin just to, you know, make everything look cohesive. I love this stuff for that. And then to set my face, I'm going to use my NYX Dewy Skin Finish because I use this all the time to set my face. Sometimes if I'm wearing my makeup for not a long period of time, I won't even set my face. I'll just set it with a powder. But this I typically use every single day to set my face. And I usually always use it to wet my highlight as well. So that's it for the face right now, and then I'm just going to brush through my brows, and then I'm just going to put some brow gel on. Typically, if I'm not like feeling like it, I won't even put brow gel on. I'll just swipe through my brows like this, and that's it. I won't even put brow gel on. Today I'm going to though, but like basically like 5 days a week I won't fill in my brows because I just won't have time. So I just brushed it through with a spoolie, and then I'm going to brush through with some brow gel, the L'Oreal Brow Stylist mascara. This stuff is great. I find that it fills in my brows just enough that it makes them stay in place, and it also fills them in enough. Since I have such thick eyebrows to begin with, I have to be ready in like 5 minutes, so I'm going to pop on my lip shade, and then I think my mom and I are just going to go. I think I'm just going to leave my stuff in here. Alright, and now let's just move on to the lip shade. So I use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the shade light medium. This stuff is great. I really love this stuff. And then for the lip shade, I'm going to use a new lipstick today. I haven't used this one yet. I picked this up a couple of days ago from Marshall's. This is the Smashbox Be Legendary lipstick in the shade Hideout. And I've been seeing that they got even more of these. Look how pretty this pink shade is, though. Isn't it a gorgeous pink? They only had 2 pink shades at my Marshall's, and I checked last week and they had 2, and then I went back a couple days ago and they still had this shade there, which I was so surprised that this one wasn't swiped up already. I wanted to get it the last time I was there, but the line was so long that I didn't want to wait. But I picked it up a couple days ago, and now I'm finally getting to wear it on my lips. Typically, when I do an everyday makeup look, I don't put lip liner on. I don't put primer on. I just throw on the lipstick. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pop this on my lips. Look how pretty that color is. Isn't that gorgeous? And I tested this out just by like popping it on my lips for a little bit, and it's such a creamy formula. I've been wanting to try Smashbox lipsticks for like a long time, but since this was like $4.99 at Marshall's, I'm obviously just going to get it there. Alright, so I'm just going to finish filling in my lips. Alright, you guys, this is pretty much the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this everyday makeup tutorial. Again, this is a little bit more of what I would do for every single day, but I felt like doing something a little bit more of like a soft glam kind of look. I will do looks like this if I want to wear something like this to work. Like, I would wear this look to work. And I really love how it turned out. This lid shade I'm kind of obsessed with now with the glitter primer. It is just so shimmery and beautiful on the lips. But the foundation, eyeshadow, and this is something that I would wear every single day. Like, I'm not like super subtle sometimes. I'll like kick it up a notch if I have something else to do. So this is like pretty much as far as I'll go. I love this foundation. I love the blush. I love the highlight. I love this eyeshadow palette. I pretty much use products I love every day, obviously. And this lipstick is really beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will update you guys on how I like this lipstick because I'm going to be wearing it pretty much all day. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I love you guys. Thank you so much again for requesting this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if there's any more requests and anything you want to know about the rest of these products that I used on my face, please let me know. I have to go now to look at cars with my mom, so I'll update you guys on what we find. So yeah, I'm really excited. So bye, guys.